Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All of us do know it quite well that when we are trying to learn some language, we are supposed to know certain things, like we are supposed to know how to attempt an essay in that particular language and how to write a letter. Usually, we are supposed to know how to write letters to the editors or to the authorities. We are supposed to know how to translate from that language and into that language. So, what we are going to today is how to write a letter to the editor. You might have seen such kind of letters usually written to the editors of the newspapers, and a letter to the editor may have 5 or 6 parts. We can mix up fifth and the sixth one as one. So first of all, the main thing that we are supposed to write, that is the heading. That is the main part, and that part is usually written on the right side of the page. And what you are going to write in the very first line, that is the place you are talking from, your address. So in the first portion of the letter, we are supposed to write our own address, that what is that place that we are writing from. And what you have to do is you'll have to give your address and you'll have to put a comma in the end of that line. Like whenever you do attempt these kinds of letters, you're in your examination hall. We teach our students that write first of all on the right part of the page, examination hall, and you are supposed to put a comma after that. And both of the words, examination and hall, must be started with the capital letters. In the very next line, we have to mention our city, and as we do not have to disclose our identity, we are supposed to keep it hidden. So we do write A, B, C, and usually we do write city in the brackets and full stop. And next comes how to write the date. There are 3 patterns you can write the date. One is that first of all you mention the name of the month, that is like November 29, and after the date you are going to put a comma and then you write the year you are writing in. And there is another way how you can write, that is to write the date, month and comma, and then the year. And you may write TH or RD or ND, like second or third or like this, and even you can omit this thing, so you can write 29 November comma and 2020. So it's clear over here that you are going to put a comma after the month if you are going to write it after the date. But if you are going to write the date after the month, so comma is coming after the date. So this is what we call the main part and the heading of the letter that we are going to write to the editor. The second part is supposed to be the address of the person we are going to write, that is editor's address. It is on the left side of the page. How you're going to write that is put a comma in the end of every line except the last one where the name of the city is mentioned. Like you are going to write the editor, so you put a comma after that, and then you mention the name of the newspaper and you write the nation, and once again you put a comma, and finally you write the name of the city. As the address is complete now, you must put a full stop of it over there. It's very simple that whenever we haven't completed whatever we are going to say, we are supposed to put comma, and whenever we have completed our conversation or whatever we are going to say, we must be putting a full stop over there. Excuse me. And you can see that in these slides, you might have seen that there is comma after the editor, the nation, and Lahore. After Lahore, we have mentioned, we have put full stop. You would be thinking that why don't we show our own identity or the place where we are talking from, but we are going to show the place and the person that we are talking to. So it's as a rule done so that our identity is hidden as far as our exams are concerned. But when you are going to write the letters out of exams, you can mention your name and your place or your city and everything. Then comes the third part, that is salutation. You say salam, and or you just address that person that is about going to really start the conversation. So first of all, when you mention that person, you address or you start talking to that person. Either you do write dear ma'am or dear sir, whatever. If you are going to use the two words, both of the words must be starting with the capital letters, and you will put a comma in the end of that address. Usually in these kind of letters that we do call that these are the letters to the editors or the authorities, we simply do address them in this way, dear sir or dear madam or respected madam. So we do have only two words over here, but sometimes out of these letters to the editors, we are going to write letters to our parents or like a father, mother, a sister, a brother, a friend. Then usually we do write that my dear friend or my dear brother. So we are going to write my M with a capital letter and dear with a small d, and friend or brother once again with a capital letter. So this is how we are supposed to do that thing. So this is the third part. And after that, usually we do write the subject, but it's the subject, and sometimes we do omit that thing. But after that comes body, that is the subject matter, that is in Urdu we call nafs mazmoon, that what is it that we are going to talk to you about, what is the problem or the issue that we do want to talk to you about or mention. In that you just talk about all that thing. Either there is some cleanliness issue or there are some hygiene issues, or you're going to talk about some social evils. Whatever you are going to talk about, you're going to express your views and what are your requests. You do mention all these things in that part, and then we go towards the last part. It may be called the fifth one or fifth plus six. That is actually the conclusion, and that is the subscription or ending or the closing. And in that part, what we do, that we write the name of our own, that is writer's name. And as far as we are learning how to attempt a letter, how we are going to write that in the examination, so we once again will have to hide our identity. We are not at all going to tell that who we are, what's your real name. So what we are going to conclude, we are going to conclude or are going to say yours truly. Here I would mention there are some mistakes that we commit usually. That is, we put a comma after the or before the s of the yours of yours. It's there must not at all be any comma, apostrophe or anything like that with yours truly. And the T of truly must be starting with a small letter, and there must be a comma in that after that. And finally we write our name, that's XYZ. So we don't tell them that who we are, because we are not supposed to tell that. And after that we just put dot, full stop. This is the pattern. I'm going to show you the format collectively, because before that we have been talking generally. So this is the format. Examination hall, you're going to put a comma after that, A, B, C, C, D, full stop, March or whatever the date you're going to write. And after the date you're going to put comma, and then you write the date. Then you mention who you are going to talk to, and the name of the newspaper and the city, and then you address that person, then you mention all what you want to say, you express your thoughts and opinions and your requests, and finally you conclude by, these are just very formal kind of things you're supposed to write, like yours truly and XYZ, and in bracket you can tell that this is name. And sometimes people do put their signature in between the name and yours truly. So if you are going to attempt this letter in your exams, this is exactly how you are supposed to write that. And if you are going to write letters in your real life, inshallah, you are going to write letters to the editors or the authorities, then at such place you are supposed to mention that who you actually are and where you are talking from, and you will have to put a date on the left side as well. I would like to mention all these things in Urdu for your convenience. जब भी हम लेटर टू द एडिटर लिखते हैं, दैट इज़ बेसिकली अबाउट हम किसी ना किसी सोशल इवल और एनी इशू दैट इज़ इन आवर सोसाइटी, हम उस सोसाइटी या किसी प्रॉब्लम, सोसाइटी से रिलेटेड किसी प्रॉब्लम के बारे में हम बात करने के लिए लेटर लिखते हैं. और उसका पैटर्न ये है कि यू सिंपली कैन इमेजिन, आप ये सोच सकते हैं कि इमेजिनरी लाइन ड्रॉ कर लें अपने पेज के अंदर, और उसके राइट साइड के ऊपर आपने अपना एड्रेस मेंशन करना है, वेयर यू आर टॉकिंग फ्रॉम, कि आप कहाँ से बात कर रहे हैं. और आप इस तरह से भी याद रख सकते हैं कि सबसे पहले हम अपने बारे में बताएंगे, और उसके बाद हम जिसको लिख रहे हैं उसके बारे में बताएंगे, फिर हम ये बताएंगे कि हम क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं, और एंड में हम अपना नाम बता देंगे और उसको कंक्लूड कर लेंगे. द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग्स आर द कॉमास, कि आपने कॉमा कहाँ पे लगाना है, फुल स्टॉप कहाँ पे लगाना है, क्योंकि ये हमारे फॉर्मल लेटर्स हैं और इनको इसी तरह से वी आर सपोज टू राइट. और एज फार एज बॉडी ऑफ द लेटर इज़ कंसर्न्ड, it varies due to the topic that we are going to talk about. और उसके ऊपर जनरली you are supposed to express your thoughts कि वो क्या प्रॉब्लम है, उसके क्या नुकसानात हैं, उसको कैसे सेटल किया जा सकता है, और आप अपनी ओपिनियन, अपनी राय, अपनी सजेशंस इसके अंदर देते हैं, so that the people who are going to read it, they would be able to benefit from that. I hope most of things are clear. Thank you so much.